Oh, oh, you're a light sleeper, aren't you? Well, Merry Christmas. No, 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 no. Shh, 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 shh. It's okay. You know me, right? Nope, not Santa. Not an elf. Yeah, that's me, Mrs. Claus. But you can call me Nick. Nicky. Nicole. Oh, so sleepy. Well, it is very late. Is it okay if I just sit here on the edge of your bed? Thank you. Now, that's enough about me. Let's talk about you. Oh, yes. You're very interesting. At least I think you must be. You see, every so often, my darling husband becomes a little taken with one of you. He fixates on your lives, whether you've been naughty or nice, and then he becomes almost fanatical about fulfilling your wish lists. Every item on it, every time. Santa became fixated on you, too. Each year you'd be extremely good, and each year you'd be well rewarded. I wonder when you first realized you were getting everything on your list. Most little children get a stocking, a few presents, maybe one big ticket gift. But there's always going to be some much wanted toy missed off. But not for you. You always found whatever you asked for under the family tree on Christmas morning, didn't you? Oh, yeah. Not just a bike. The exact model you didn't think your family could afford. You knew you were pushing it when you started asking for game consoles, one every year. It always impressed me how your family managed to put their little poker faces on as you all ran into the living room. You were always eager to see the gifts you knew would be there no matter what you asked for. I wonder when it was that you finally realized. Was that when you started hiding the lists? And then still got the presents? Or was it when your parents eventually called the police? You know, they were the laughingstock at the station that year. No one believed them when they said someone had broken in to give you your heart's desire at Christmas. The police just weren't going to take that seriously. Oh, you're very safe, my little candy cane. Just stay where you are, all cuddled up in bed. Snug as a bug in a rug. Oh, what's with this little frown? Oh, yes, I suppose it may have made things tricky between you and the other family members. Got yourself into some dust-ups, did you? I assumed as much. It often happens that way. You looked as though you were the favorite at Christmas, didn't you? And no one admitted to buying the gifts, so it caused friction. Santa doesn't always think things through. That's why I'm here. We're going to fix things. It's always up to me to fix these things. For everyone. No more arguments. No more greedy little lists. And no more watching my husband work himself to death over you. At least, not until the next one. Now, listen. Listen. Usually, when you get older, the Santa myth is dropped. Either you get old enough and stop believing, or some cruel child on the playground gets a little thrill out of pulling that piece of innocence from you. That's normal. It's meant to happen. But that never happened to you. You believed. You really believed. And so, even when you moved here into your own apartment, you carried on writing your Christmas lists. Didn't it ever occur to you that you should stop? Your lists got so demanding. First the car, and then the vacation, and then you just didn't stop. You asked for more and more and more. Where do you think that comes from, my little candy cane? Usually, yes, adults. Santa gets a lot of help from grown-ups, parents, guardians, older siblings, but when it comes to Santa's obsessions, he does all that himself. It can be a bit much for a wife. Imagine seeing your partner work all year long for someone else, having to smile and be happy. And then there's people like you who get everything. Well, I'll show you what you get in the end. I was hoping to be done before you woke up, but this works just as well. If Santa can get around the world in one night, then I can handle you. And you're going to pay for what you've done to me. I work just as hard as he does. He delivers the toys. Do you know what I do? Everything else. Don't get me started on mucking out the reindeer stalls. This isn't what I signed up for when we got married. No, of course he wasn't always Santa. Back when we first met, we were just teenagers, but I'd have done anything for him. He was just himself, just Chris. Before his job took over our lives, before random strangers were given larger pieces of his attention than I could get. I wasn't just Mrs. Claus. I had dreams before being married. We had plans. Even when he took the job, we still had things we wanted together. And you think you're special just because you get everything on your list. Oh, you think you're the first. Oh, far from it. Well, if Chris is so desperate to make you happy, he can keep you. Oh, 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 and it's always nice having the extra help, of course. He might not recognize you at first with your cute little voice, and you'll be significantly smaller, and he'll be so pleased to have another little helper. He always is. You should know this happens by now. He finds a new little mortal to fuss over, and then there you are, with us. If I can get enough of you together, maybe we can be free again. Just him and me. The way it was. The way it should be. Oh, I mean that you're coming with me. You've taken so much over the years. Presents, my husband's attention, little pieces of my life I'll never get back. It's time for you to give. You can join the rest of his grown-ups who really believe. Oh, good question. This vial is how... keep still now. Just a sprinkle of Christmas cheer. That's magic of my own design. This is how we create new little elves to come and live with us. Adorable, obedient, and so very sweet. Hush now, don't fight it. You'll drift off to sleep, and when you wake, you'll be a whole new you. Don't worry. You'll be so happy in your new home. After all, we only let the nicest people stay at the workshop.